Did you know The War of Roses was directed by Danny DeVito? The movie, I mean, not the Civil War for the Throne. So you're saying she's got nothing to do with the drink at all? Alright, but all this talk about Bloody Marys, now I really want one. When you think about it, we only remember the 5th of November fondly because Guy Fawkes was bad at committing crime. Welcome to A Brief History of the Past. I'm Kaelan Burrows and this is part 3 of the English monarchy. This week we're starting with the Commonwealth of England. Oliver Cromwell declared England a Commonwealth in 1649 and became Lord Protector of England in 1653. Lord Protector? Sounds a bit like a superhero, doesn't it? Were his parents murdered in an alleyway? Can we get the research on that? Oliver had raised an army to crush the Scots that were loyal to the previous king, Charles II, and by 1653 he had ousted most of the corrupt English Parliament, giving him the power of a king, only, without the title. Well, that's no good for a CV, is it? Says here you were Lord Protector for 3 years. Not quite good enough for a king, eh? Sorry, I'm not sure you're subway material, mate. Upon Oliver's death, his son Richard took over as Lord Protector, and within 9 months was convinced by Parliament to resign and flee to France. So, long live the Protectorate! Charles II was asked to take the throne, and just like that, England had a monarchy again. And to show there was no hard feelings, Charles had Oliver's body removed from Westminster Abbey, tried for treason, hung, beheaded, and then had his head put on a pike outside of Westminster Hall. Ouch. It's beautiful, really. I mean, when you think about it, it's our ability to forgive that separates us from the animals. I just need a minute. Now, while Charles had 13 mistresses and plenty of illegitimate children, he fathered no actual heir, so his younger brother James II took over after, but only for about 3 years. James was Catholic, and like some other Catholic monarchs, he really enjoyed persecuting the Protestant clergy. As a result, he was generally hated and was replaced with England's first and only co-monarchs after just 3 years. James tried to retake the throne in 1689, but was defeated in battle and fled to France. If France would have charged every time a British royal fled there, they'd be the richest country in the world today.
Well, can we come up and have a look? Of course not! You are English type, sir! Well, what are you then? I'm French! Why do you think I have this outrageous accent, you silly king?
Next up was Queen Anne in 1702. Under her reign, the United Kingdom of Great Britain was formed by the union of England and Scotland. Finally, after all those years of fighting and mistrust, harmony could finally be achieved. It just makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, But what's that? What? Look, Scotland only joined the Union because they was near bankrupt and had a poorly attended Parliament that passed the vote? Yeah, that actually makes more sense. Anne had no heirs, and believe me, she tried. With her only child lost to smallpox, the throne went to George I of Hanover. Now George, he could barely speak English and really never bothered to learn. In fact, I think we've got footage right from one of his rare public addresses. Very difficult to understand, as you can see. But this left the running of Great Britain up to Sir Robert Walpole, who became the very first Prime Minister.
He is the one.
Leading to the present-day tradition of the Prime Minister running the country. George's son, George II Electric Boogaloo, took the throne after, with Walpole still mostly running the country.
I'm not even supposed to be here today!
In 1745, Prince Charles Edward Stuart, grandson to James II, poorly attempted to put his family line back on the throne. His meagre forces were routed, And he escaped to... anyone? France, of course.
Oh yes, it's very nice, sir.
Seems that the apple doesn't fall far from the twit, because Bonnie Prince Charlie's dad had attempted a similar coup with George I and with similar results. The next George on the throne was a grandson to George II. Now he was English born and an English speaker, which is very important when you're running England. Unfortunately, George's reign is marred by one of Britain's greatest failures. That's right. Talking about the creation of America. A moment of silence. The next king, George IV, was the Jersey Shore of English monarchs, in that his personal life was hard to watch, and the masses were relieved when he was gone.
Bring it on! Bring it the on!
George's brother William took over the throne in 1830. Wait, hold on, what? Wait, William? Really? I'm just shocked that, he didn't name all his kids George, in case of any accidents or anything. William was known as the Sailor King for the 10 years he spent in the Royal Navy. Sailor King. It sounds like a big-budget blockbuster starring a Hemsworth as a mighty sea captain who's exclusively shirtless and wet. What were we talking about? William was well loved by the people for his lack of pretension. Another notable achievement of his reign is that he abolished slavery in the English colonies in 1833. Suck on that, America. When William died with no heir to take over, his niece, Victoria, ascended to the throne at 18. She then married her cousin Albert, but when he died, she actually withdrew from public life for a very long time till she was much older. When she finally did re-emerge, her popularity soared and the United Kingdom expanded out more massively than ever before, doubling in size. What was Victoria's secret? I said Victoria's Secret. Queen Victoria's official title was Her Imperial Majesty, Queen Victoria, Queen of Great Britain and Ireland, Empress of India. That's almost as many titles as Daenerys, Queen of Dragons, has.
You stand in the presence of Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, rightful heir to the Iron Throne, rightful Queen of the Andals and the First Men, protector of the Seven Kingdoms, the mother of dragons, the Khaleesi.
It's too much. It's too much. I don't even call her that. No, I call her Vic. I call her Queen Vic. Q Vic for short. QV. I call her QV. And she still sits on the throne today. So I want to thank you all for coming with me on this journey. And I want. What? Why are you shaking your head? What? She's not the same queen that we have today? No, it is her. Are you sure? Oh, alright. I'll do one more episode to round out these royals, but then I want to get on to the important stuff, like the history of carnies. Tune in to the next episode where we get to our final 5 monarchs, 2 of which are still named George.
Oh, come on!
If you like this video, please give it a like and a share. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notified when more brief history of the past videos go up. Thanks, and I'll see you all in the future. What's that? What? Scotland only joined the Union because they was near bankrupt, and they had a poorly turned out parliament that voted for it? Yeah. What do you say I try to say that again, but correctly? I agree.